I am so happy that you're able to join us for this extended interview. Make sure to visit theoffbeatlife.com. Again, that's theoffbeatlife.com to get more killer resources. Hey friend, are you looking to land a remote gig ASAP? Well, did you know that we not only have a ton of online jobs you can apply to on our site, but now we are also sending them straight to your inbox. I'm happy to announce that we will be sending our email subscribers legit online jobs every Wednesday. We have done hours of research, so you don't have to. If you want to be the first one to hear about the remote gigs we find, go to theoffbeatlife.com to subscribe. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this extended interview with Brittany, where she's going to share how to use collaboration to build an online business. Hey Brittany.
Hey, thank you so much for having me again.
I'm so excited for you to share with us all of your tips and tricks on using collaboration. But before we do that, can you tell us about you and why you live an offbeat life?
Yes, thank you so much for having me. My name is Brittany Megan. I am the founder and community leader of Social Babes Co. We are a community for women who are focused on taking control of their life, following their dreams, and securing the bag. And I live an offbeat life because it's just better. Point blank, period.
I love that answer. You're like, that's just how I'm going to live. Amazing. And also make sure you all go to the initial interview that I have with Brittany. Her story is really incredible and she shares so much of her insights there as well. But today we're going to talk more about collaboration and how you have really built up your business based from this. Can you tell me more about this, your current business right now, and how you use collaboration to help you grow and actually create income online?
Yes. Thank you so much again. And I'm so excited about this topic because I am a firm believer in collaborations over everything. And like I said in the beginning, I run a community for women who are in business, who are side hustlers, content creators, and who are just looking for additional support, empowerment, and education so that they can follow their dreams, take control of their life, and secure the bag. So we launched our community actually through COVID as a podcast originally back in February of 2020. And through that, I was originally a social media marketer, and I had originally started to just actually interview my clients in the beginning. And when we actually had this idea of this podcast is really onto something, and now we got to find a way to make it a community and to get in front of more women in business, I realized that the way to do this and the most effective strategy to do this is going to be to collaborate with other women in business who speak to women in business. So collaborations are something that we have done and have done again, time and time again, going forward from the beginning of our podcast. We've had over 100 different guests on our podcast, all who we've collaborated with in multiple different ways. And on top of that, we collaborate with like hosting masterclasses and guest blog posting and all of this fun stuff. So collaborations are something that really just get you in front of your dream audience quickly and effectively, because when you collaborate with somebody, you're speaking almost like a word of mouth referral that person is giving you and what you're doing.
So for you, Brittany, when you thought of this idea, first you had a business, right? A marketing business, and then you started your podcast, and then you really had this aha moment for yourself that this is going to allow you to even grow. You did start collaborating with others. What are some really great ways that you have collaborated with other people, maybe techniques that have really worked for you and different ways that you've collaborated that has really allowed you to grow and to also create income?
Yeah, for sure. And I love this question that has allowed us to create income because I think that there's two types of collaborations. There's collaborations where you're collaborating with somebody to get in front of their audience. And then there's collaborations where you're collaborating with somebody or another brand to sell something together and to actually make money. So when we talk about making money and those types of collaborations, ones that we have done that we have absolutely loved are workshop collaborations. And this is just such an amazing way for you to get in front of not only your audience, but somebody else's and market to them, and for them to get to know you and who you are and more about you and fall in love with you, that way they can continue to follow what you're doing and potentially invest with you further afterwards.
Love that. So when you say workshop collaboration, how do you even ask that, right? How do you find the right people who are willing to do the same thing? Can you give us a little bit more detail on that?
For sure. And this is something that I think it's super important to be intentional with who it is that you're collaborating. And I want to really emphasize that because listen, you can collaborate with anybody, right? We're all doing amazing things. But if you guys don't have similar audiences, it's not going to translate moving forward. So when you're thinking of, hey, I want to collaborate on a workshop with somebody, it's important that you find somebody who's targeting the same audience that you are, but specializes in something different. So a perfect example would be I come from a marketing background. Let's say I host a workshop with somebody who specializes in mindset for entrepreneurs. We're both targeting the same ideal audience, but specialize in something different and are serving that audience differently. So what I would do is if you have somebody in mind is reaching out to them and saying, hey, I really love what you're doing. I have an idea. I think that it would be so cool for us to collaborate and serve our audiences together. Do you want to jump on a Zoom call and talk about maybe co-hosting a workshop together? You've got to ask. Don't be afraid to ask. I feel like a lot of especially women, I feel like we're so scared of rejection, and you got to ask. And most of the time you would be surprised, but people will not say no if you're targeting people with similar audience sizes to you. So you're not shooting to the big leagues. Like if you've got 1,000 followers and you're trying to reach out to somebody with 1 million, might be a little bit harder unless you're really, really killer at what you do. But if you're targeting somebody with around the same audience size and you're coming from a place of let's collaborate and grow together, most of the times you will get a yes.
Amazing. I love that. And the fact that most people, right, as long as you ask, most people will be willing to do that collaboration. They're going to be willing to work with you because you have set it up to be a win-win for the both of you.
Exactly. Like you've got to think of it being mutually beneficial. And you can't pitch it where it's one-sided. You can't say like, hey, I'd love for you to come do this for my audience. You've got to say like, listen, I think that you would be great to talk about this in terms of my audience because they don't have anybody like that. And I think that I could serve your audience in this way.
Absolutely. And that's why that always works so much better than just asking for me. I think
Yes.
we've seen that a lot. And once we see someone who is actually willing to give and take, that stands out even more. And you're more open to that and you want to work with them so much more.
100%.
Awesome. Is there any other tips that you can give us, Brittany, that we didn't cover that would be super helpful in terms of collaborating that will allow you to grow and gain more income for your business?
Yes. And I want to just quickly point out if you are a remote worker, which chances are you are if you're listening to this, you need to be on Clubhouse. And I want to really emphasize that. In terms of collaborations, Clubhouse is the easiest way to connect, get to know other people in this online space, and figure out ways that you can collaborate together. A perfect example is Debbie and I. We met through Clubhouse, and if I wasn't on that app, we would not be doing this episode today. So don't be afraid to use platforms like Clubhouse to really make connections and get in front of people that you wouldn't otherwise.
Clubhouse is incredible. I've met so many people. Definitely one of them has been Brittany, and it has been one of the best places to collaborate, to find guests for my show, clients, everything else in between. It's been so amazing and also really informative. You learn so much from there.
100%. I'm going to be biased and say it is the best platform out there right now.
I am agreeing with you on that, Brittany, because it's so much more personal. You really get to know people. It's not just images. You get to talk to people in real time, and you get to do a lot of back and forth communication that you can't really do anywhere else.
And the amount of people that you will meet that you wouldn't be in front of otherwise, I think is just so crazy, because unlike Instagram, when you're on there and you're really only getting in front of people who Instagram thinks that you're going to want to be in front of, Clubhouse is really based off of the topic. If you want to talk to somebody in relation to marketing, there are rooms for that, right? So yeah, it's definitely the best platform, hands down.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Brittany, for sharing all of your tips and tricks with us. If our listeners want to know more about you, where can they find you?
Thank you so much for having me, Debbie. You guys can find me on any social media platform at Brittany Megan. I'm mostly on Instagram and Clubhouse right now. And if you would like to know more about our community or become a part of our community, you can follow us at Social Babes Co.
Awesome. Thank you, Brittany. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this extended interview with Brittany. Make sure to visit theoffbeatlife.com. Again, that's theoffbeatlife.com to get the full interview where she shares how she's been able to create an online community for women who boss up. Hey friend, have you been wanting to start a podcast? I know it can be overwhelming in the beginning. Believe me, I have been there. Lucky for you, we have created a new site called howtocreateapodcast.com that shares a ton of freebies that can help you get started. From launching, growing to monetizing, we share it all in one place. Visit howtocreateapodcast.com for more information. Thanks for joining me on this extended interview. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on iTunes. We can also chat some more on Facebook at The OB Life. I'll talk to you soon.